For those who know what we're talking about, the 9th Age battle is spreading before us. Nothing is deployed except a pump wagon here. A Medusa on the other side. Looks like a thicket beast. It's a Medusa. Don't be fooled. On the other side, a pump wagon again. The goblins started dropping, and the Medusas are mirroring their deployment. It's a counter thrust. No, it's not
breakthrough.
It's a breakthrough objective, and
circle.
An encircle deployment.
No.
It's a refused flag.
Refused flag.
Now, Dread Elves are dropping everything, after having dropped their fast cav, spearmen in the rear, and both Medusas, here the Krakens, and the Black Prince, the dreaded Prince of the Dragon, more spearmen, Cold One Riders, Acolyte Riders, and Witch Elves will be deployed. Before the Dread Elves dropped everything, this is what the Goblins had dropped. Only fast cav, scrap wagons, a unit of 20 Goblins, and the BSP, the Grand Green Idol. Can you see the similarity? Peeking atop of the mountain tops. The banner painted by a great Warhammer player. Showing the evolution from a great green idol until the most intelligent being in the universe, the goblin, appears at the utmost branch of evolution's tree. The awe-inspiring. Goblins deployed, and there are orcs in this army. Common orc, boar riders. This is the Gargantula, the Troll King on Gargantula. The stats are as per the Goblin King, the Forest Goblin King, and here they are, all lined up against the monsters, the Krakens on the other side, the Witch Elves and Krakens, which were so effective in our last battle against the big monsters, and they're lined up versus the Great Green Idol, who is a BSB today. He is carrying the banner with honor. After Goblins turn 1, the chaff is in its place. The forest of the Goblin Raiders do not flee this time. They get the general's leadership, so they stand to take the charge from one of the Krakens, and they of course stand against the Witch Elves. Here comes the counter chaff. All the orcs and goblins are moving up except the scrap wagons and the trolls, which were 18.5 inches away from the general. A laughable half inch away from the general's shouts. Now there's a chaff war going on in the middle, between two aggressive armies, wanting to stave off dangerous charges and get through their own. The Witch Elves kill their amount of Wolf Riders. They're decimated, eliminated on the spot, and they reform a bit this way. The Kraken kills 2 Wolf Riders, and they fail their rerollable leadership 4 and are chased down by the pursuing Kraken. However and ever the battle goes on. We're taking a break after turn 1, and we'll be putting out the temporary battle report so that the guild, the Warhammer Guild in Arndal, can discuss the happenings. Is the Dread Elf army really as dreaded as we all fear? Is it dreadfully underpowered? Alexander, please comment. And how can this battle develop onwards? What can we do? It'll be Orc and Goblin next turn. They've got some chaff in their way. These light troops here. And the field is wide open. A Kraken in the rear, the Witch Elves just reformed. The Dragon and the other Kraken on this flank. What will charge? What can charge? We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Guys, we have to admit something. We just kept playing. The Gargantula and the Squigs charged the Kraken. We thought it that the Kraken had to turn to face the Squigs, which charged in first, and they needed it to rotate to be able to get in between it and the Dragon, to get as many units as possible into the charge. Was that a correct interpretation of the rule? Now the Green Idols charged these guys, the chaff, and the Trolls here were stupid despite the rerollable general's leadership. The Boar Boys withdrew. This one came up, and the Pump Wagon on the other side is just within charge range of the Medusa. Now let's see, the wheel turn, no, the hereditary spell, Bring the Pain, is cast on the Kraken, so this will be painful. They were a pain, the Krakens were a pain last game against the Great Green Idol. And the Troll King on Gargantula. May it be payback.
Hvordan reformer det?
The Kraken dies.
Sånn there.
The Witch Elves move back 3.5 inch. They can move 3.5 inch backwards. They are not gravely mistaken to do so. It would be grave if they were mistaken. But they are grave and not mistaken. The dreaded prince on a dragon charges the wolf riders and catches them in pursuit. He also redirects into the goblins with the goblin master mage. They flee as well. Now, of course, the wolf riders tried to stand as chaff and take the charge, but they failed a rerollable 8. It's happened a lot of times to wolf riders in this game. And to trolls. No, to wolf riders mostly. The Kraken charges the Green Idol. It's a rematch. The dragon, well, it's done as much as it could towards the goblins this round. And both Medusas charge one scrap wagon each on both flanks of the battle. Other than that, it's about the large monsters right now. The Dread Elves are doing their best counter. The Squigs lose all their troopers, their hoppers, and the two heroes flee, losing 1 wound each for dangerous rain, fleeing through the Dread Prince. The Kraken kills the Green Idol, doing 7 wounds, and it overruns almost into the Boar Boys. Not losing a single wound on the Kraken. Now the Spearman did not overrun into the Troll King on Gargantula, but pretty close. And we're taking a pause right now. Things are all the more complicated here. There's a Dread Dragon in the rear ranks. The Troll units are within the General's leadership, but they no longer have the Green Idol as BSB to rely on. And the flanks are ruled by the Medusas. How will this develop? We'll be right back. It may take some time for us, but in the battle report you'll see the continuation soon. In the name of the Squigs, we had to find something out before we quit this battle. We took the stupidity test and the rally tests. This goblin unit rallied. These trolls are able to do a charge. They're not stupid yet. These trolls failed their stupidity test beside the general. Despite it, they failed and moved 1 inch forwards. So now we know a little bit more about how turn 3 for the goblins will be possible to let unroll. It's fire and squirmy, swampy underworld right here. Later on during the night. What? What's this? What's this? It's a camera. It's a battlefield. There are goblins. We'll help them. We'll move the units about. Ha 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 ha! Bring the other guys. And the Dread Elves are doomed. Rumors say that there have been goblins messing with the table since last time. We can't see anything, but they might have messed with the dice. Because when the Orcan goblins started their turn, they had a few bad rolls. These guys kept fleeing, and when the Orc Boar Boys charged the Kraken, they didn't do a single hit.
They failed their fear test.
Because they failed their fear test, they got the bounce spell on the Goblin King through, so they could reroll to hit, but that didn't help them.
No, I dispelled that.
That was dispelled. They didn't get any magic through, and the Kraken in the next round pursued the Boar Boys, so they're running off the table, and it redirects into the Squig hero, so they'll have to flee onwards. The Goblin King on Gargantula killed the champion in a challenge against the Dread Legionnaires.
And then these trolls failed their
Stupidity test.
And you got off round of movement, Will-o'-the-Wisp on them.
Right.
Oh, yeah?
The Kraken catches the two Squig heroes, they're killed, and it reforms to face the battle again. The goblins did very well with a few nights' sleep between the rounds there. The goblins fled 2 inches, and the Medusa caught them in pursuit in the charge and killed the Wizard Master as well. The Witch Elves charge into the Stone Trolls, as does the dragon from the rear, and these Dark Riders, the Raptor Riders, charge the flank of the River Trolls. A perfect situation for the Dread Elves. The River Trolls stand, killing 2 and losing 2 wounds themselves and 1 troll. The Stone Trolls win their combat by killing 8 Witch Elves. They manage almost no ward saves, and only 5 wounds were taken off the trolls. No.
I got about 2 ward saves.
He only made 2 ward saves on the Witch Elves. The Troll Goblin King of Gargantula makes the Spearman flee, and he turns around to see that his army has fled except from the trolls. In other words, his elites are still on the table and he feels better than ever. He charges the dragon into the fray. In the River Troll combat, the River Trolls failed their Steadfast Leadership Test 8 and run from the Raptor, the one Raptor. They ran through the Medusa and lost 2 extra trolls. In the combat with the dragon lost 3 wounds. Both the Troll King Goblin And the trolls went for the dragon, but they lost the combat by 6. It was a combat which both the Troll King and the Stone Trolls fled from, so they forfeit the battle. The only model with a chance to rally is the Troll King, who would be chased down by the Kraken next round, and the Kraken is dangerous enough when the Troll King is not fleeing. So this was a devastating defeat for the goblins and victory for the new strategy with Dark Elves.